The incredible houses of the world's richest CEOs. There are houses and there are mansions. The world's richest CEOs have, with their innumerable wealth, redefined the term house. Many of them have spent a lot of time, months and years even, as well as a boatload of money, the GDP of a couple of states maybe, building their dream home. And the results speak for themselves. Those homes turn out to be incredible. Here, we are going to take a look at the incredible homes of some of the world's richest CEOs. Bill Gates. Resting pretty as the second richest person in the world is the former CEO and founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates. As one of the most recognized persons in the world, Gates often appears in the press. Bill Gates, as is to be expected of a man worth $98 billion, calls a huge mansion in Medina, Washington, home. His home is filled with enough cutting-edge technology worthy of a tech mogul such as himself. His Medina mansion took a great deal of time and money to complete. 7 years and $53 million, to be exact. I guess when you have the money, why do you have to limit your dreams? The Lakeside Mansion, which resides on 62,000 square feet, was bought for $2 million in 1988. Upon construction, the $2 million lot is now valued at $130 million. The home is fitted with several top-of-the-line high-tech equipment, all of which are designed to provide the ultimate comfort for the guests. Among the several functions of the high-sensor system is the autonomy over room climate, lighting and house features and appliances. Even though the house only has 8 bedrooms, it can confidently host hundreds with its 25 bathrooms, 6 kitchens, and dining room for 200. The mansion is also fitted with amenities to entertain guests, such as the 60-foot heated swimming pool with an underwater music feature. For those who want more, there's a trampoline room. As amazing as this house is, and it is amazing, it is just one of the 3 properties that belong to Bill Gates. Gates has acquired from Jenny Craig the fitness icon a huge ranch in Southern California. Spread out over 200 acres, the ranch was sold for about $18 million, a fairly good bargain for those who can't afford it. For $18 million, Gates got a racetrack, a guest house, an office, a veterinarian suite, an orchid, and 5 barns. Gates' third notable home is the one in Wellington, Florida, which was bought for $8.7 million. It might belong to the former CEO, but his daughter Jennifer is the current resident. Oprah Winfrey. Although she is well known for her highly popular and tremendously successful talk show, many forget that Oprah is the CEO of Hart Productions. In 2001, Winfrey made a billionaire purchase, acquiring a 23,000 square foot Montecito mansion, which is located just 6 miles from downtown Santa Barbara, for a whopping $50 million. Winfrey is obviously a firm believer in real estate because she purchased an 8,700 square foot home in Telluride, Colorado for $14 million in 2014. It is also possible that she just likes having houses because barely 2 years later in 2016, she spent $29 million at an auction bidding and winning the bid for a 23-acre horse farm. Her farmhouse, which has been modernized with the 21st century comforts, has a wraparound porch with unfettered view of the ocean, a dining room designed for a party of 6, and a terrace off the master bedroom. She also has, to her name, 163 acres of property on the slopes of Mount Haleakala. Jeff Bezos. Jeff has the honor of being the richest man in the world, currently. Holding the title of CEO of Amazon since 1996, his net worth is currently at $175 billion. Aside from the Amazon headquarters that is based in Seattle, Bezos also has 5 homes in the land of opportunity, and he owns the largest house in Washington, D.C. The Washington, D.C. home, which is located in the Kalorama neighborhood, is, well, more of a mansion really. And can we expect anything less? Comprising of 27,000 square feet, the mansion was once a textile museum. About $12 million was spent to renovate and merge 2 separate mansions into one home for Bezos. One minor detail that makes the Bezos home quite different is the fact that it was originally built with $23 million in cash. Even though Bezos' primary residence is in Seattle, he also has homes all across the country. He has one in Medina, Washington, which was renovated to a jaw-dropping sum of $28 million. His home in Beverly Hills is worth $25 million. He owns 3 linked apartments in the Century Towers right above the Central Park in New York City, which is estimated to a tune of about $8 million. That's not all. Bezos also owns a great deal of land in Texas. Warren Buffett. This man is also known as the Oracle of Omaha. The best of nicknames are those bestowed upon a person on the basis of action or personality of said individual, and the Oracle of Omaha is a well-deserved title for Warren Buffett. His home, which he bought for $31,500 in 1958, is now worth $800,000. Now, if that's not sound business, I don't know what is. A fairly modest man by various standards, Buffett still lives in his 6,570 square foot home in Omaha, which cannot even claim to be the most expensive house on the block. The Berkshire Hathaway CEO, who was valued at a little under $90 billion, just rolls that way. With his innate eye and infallible gut, Buffett bought a home in Laguna Beach in 1971 for just $150,000, which appreciated so much that he could comfortably ask for a selling price of $11 million. Elon Musk, an entrepreneur and smart businessman, Musk has his hands in several pies and maintains the CEO position of both Tesla and SpaceX. He is also the creator of PayPal and has his hands in several other pies as well. As a result, he is stupendously rich and can comfortably indulge in the real estate market. He did just that as he owns an estimated amount of $72 million in real estate. One of his many homes once belonged to Gene Wilder, and it was sold for $6.75 million. Another pricey purchase was the one he made in 2016, spending $24.25 million on a new mansion in the Bel Air neighborhood. Larry Ellison, while he is not exactly the CEO, Ellison is still a force to be reckoned with, as he is the CTO of Oracle. Ellison had a specific dream of what he wanted his home to look like, a 16th century Japanese emperor's palace, and he spent 9 years and $70 million and 23 acres to make that vision come to life. With his deep and abiding love for the Japanese culture, Ellison is said to be the owner of an alleged $86 million historic garden villa in Kyoto. By combining his love for all things Japanese with his amassed real estate, Ellison was able to convert the Casa Malibu Inn into a high-end Japanese concept hotel, which charges $1,100 a night. Michael Dell, CEO of Dell Technologies, became a media sensation in 2014 when he put down over $100 million for not even a building, but a penthouse in New York. That became a historic moment, as it is the most expensive purchase for a residential purpose at that time. While that may have been his biggest purchase, Dell has once paid $40 million for an apartment in the Back Bay neighborhood in Boston. In spite of his affinity for apartments, Dell has also invested in actual land also. He has a very extensive property in Austin, Texas, which measures at approximately 119 acres, discounting the nearby ranch for the family horses. He also has an 18,500 square foot home in Hawaii that is estimated at about $73 million. Mark Zuckerberg, the technology juggernaut, co-creator and CEO of Facebook, lives with his wife Priscilla in a 5,617 square foot home that only set them back $7 million. The house is complete with wooden floors, a saltwater pool, a dining room the size of a banquet, a glassed-in sunroom, 5 bedrooms, and 5 bathrooms. Apparently a huge fan of the Marvel Comics, Zuckerberg retrofitted his home with AI, which can control the entire property. Zuckerberg spent years creating a custom-made artificial intelligence assistant that he named Jarvis. What other cool name do you think would be perfect for a cyber butler? Why don't you drop off your cool names in the comments section below? A typical behavior of any billionaire, really. The multi-billionaire spent $30 million buying off all the property that surrounds his home in Palo Alto. You can call the cops on your neighbors, or you can, buy their homes. Zuckerberg also paid $10 million for an off-market property in 2013, which is 5,542 square feet and located in Dolores Heights. Even after spending such an exorbitant amount on purchase, renovation costs an estimated amount of $1.6 million. The renovations included the addition of an office, a media room, a half bathroom, a mudroom, a laundry room, a wine room, and a wet bar. Zuckerberg also ensured that the roof was changed and the landscaping revitalized. Now, all of that is tons of money well spent, but the motherlode of real estate purchased for the Facebook CEO is the $100 million he spent on 2 land parcels and Kauai. Zuckerberg intends to set up rather extravagant family getaways on the 700 acres of property he purchased. The idea is to build a 2-bedroom residence as well as a 16-bed garage complex on the 2,500 square foot area strategically positioned to provide a stunning view of the ocean with leftover room for a fully functional organic farm. Steve Ballmer. Not a current CEO, Ballmer held the reins of Microsoft for 14 years, from 2000 to 2014. That position comes with its perks as Ballmer has managed to acquire some really pricey real estate for himself. Ballmer and his wife purchased their main residence in 1987 for $1.325 million. It might have seemed a bit pricey then, but it has appreciated nicely as it is now valued at over $21 million. In December 2019, the Ballmers decided to spend $9.8 million on a 3,790 square foot home. The house, which is adjacent to their waterfront mansion, was built in 1902 and renovated in 1999. Mukesh Ambani. This is a CEO who is well deserving of a spot on this list, the richest man in India, and currently the 21st richest man in the world. Ambani is currently the owner of the most expensive home in existence. The home, which is a 27-story building spanning over 400,000 square feet, includes 6 steps dedicated to underground parking, 3 helicopter pads, and a supposed number of 600 staff members for upkeep. Construction of the house is said to be somewhere between $1 billion and $2 billion. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the incredible houses of the richest CEOs in the world. If you like this video, why don't you give the like button a tap? You should also subscribe to this channel for many more videos such as this. Until next time, always stay classy.